this is certainly going to take a bit of getting used to, won't it? The game has updated. And so has the entire interface itself. Admittedly, it's not exactly jarring, but it's still going to take some getting used to. Let's see, what do we have mission-wise? Well, never mind all that. Where's my log? Here it is. Not a whole lot. I forget what I was going to do. Episode 12 was a surprisingly long time ago. Alright. So, let me see, I just finished doing this monument. I think I'm going to check for Artemis. Looking for an alien outpost. Here we go. And they found one. Much to my utter lack of surprise. It is that away. Alright, so let's just take off here in my radiant pillar. You know, I'm just about as sick of the name as I am of the ship. This thing's a rinky-dink little Class C model. It's the starter ship from the first... It's the first ship you get in the game. The first anything that you get in a game is never going to be the best anything you can get. And it'll likely be among the worst. It's like the spare tire. You know how cars have spare tires included. But those aren't exactly tires. Instead, they're just pseudo tires. They're only ever meant to get you to the nearest gas station or wherever to get the tire replaced. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could drive longer than you think on a spare tire, but it really isn't recommended. And this Radiant Pillar, Class C model Radiant Pillar, is the spaceship equivalent of a spare tire. And I've been driving on this donut for way too long. Okay. That said, though, I don't see anything around here. Well, welcome to another round of Target Sweep with your host Markotron. Today's target is 1,039 feet away. Isn't it just my luck? Alright, fellas, time for a hike. Maybe I'll edit this section out and wait and cut back when we're back here. But I got a thing or three to do first. Some nice salty plants here. Gonna need that. And look at those up ahead. Those things, they look like Mario mushrooms. I think I got room for them. You know what else I got? Hazard protection. I forgot I can't scan stuff because of my target. Technically, I can. I could, in theory, change the function, but it's a bit. That's different. Okay, it's not telling me how many how many items I can store. It's telling me how many free slots I have. And that, I suppose, is useful. But what it's not telling me is what slots, which slot I should use that already has things like rusty metal, for example, in it. I was able to tell which inventory to store stuff in because you know how many slots there are, or you know how many items a slot can store? 9,999. So, if something, if out of my various inventories, a slot was, or an inventory didn't have an amount of space that wasn't an even multiple of 9,999, which is surprisingly easy to tell, then that's where I was storing my rusty metal, or my solarium, or this stuff. You know what this stuff is? I have it on my home world and the first world where I first, I don't know, started this game, I guess. This is fungal mold. It looks like a mushroom from a video game. I have half mine to jetport up to the top cap there, jump on it, and see if it propels me. Like the mushrooms in video games do. Well, some of them do. I think the mushrooms in Mario, well, the ones you can stand on anyway, don't. They're just mushrooms you can stand on. But all to say, these do put me in mind of video game mushrooms, like the classic kind of video games. We're only 680 units out. We're still not halfway there yet. Alright, if nothing interesting happens, I'm just gonna cut this and pick back up when things get when I get there. Well, here it is. If it looks familiar, it's because it is familiar. This is a trade outpost. You might remember them from my speedy delivery missions. Here I was thinking I was going to meet a small settlement, you know, the kind that have multi-tools available. I mean, yeah, I got a good enough one now. It's not the basic model, and it cost a pretty penny too. But it is one of two standard kinds of two standard kinds of multi-tools. When I started, I had a pistol multi-tool. It wasn't capable of much. I now have a rifle multi-tool, which has a lot more slots in it, and it's capable of potentially a lot more. So I suppose it would be a good multi-tool in general for a hefty chunk of the game, but there are other kinds of multi-tool available which have bonuses in all three aspects. All aspects. I think there's three of them. And this multi-tool doesn't have a bonus in mining. I'm going to rummage a bit through these cases here, and then I know there's somebody here who I can ask about Artemis. Still getting used to this perspective. Another thing they changed. Oxygen. It now actually looks like it has 8 protons and presumably 8 neutrons too. Maybe I've got an isotope that only has 7. I forget exactly how common they are, but atomic weights are usually a weighted average of the available isotopes of a mineral, or of an element. I mean, hydrogen is like 1 point several zeros and then 79 at the end, as opposed to just having an atomic weight of 1. Well, the atomic weight of 1 is the majority of hydrogen, which is it doesn't have any neutrons, but there are other isotopes. Deuterium, which has 1 neutron and therefore weighs 2, and tritium, which has 2 neutrons, weighs 3, and is radioactive. And those are considered in the atomic weight of hydrogen, the one you see on the periodic table. Now then, I'm going to ask this Ensign Zaquil about my triangulation here. Let's see what we have here. It says, "Gra, interloper, such little honor." Volcano unimpressed. Okay, I'm unimpressed too with my with what passes for a warrior race guy accent. Through the garble of Artemis' translator, it is clear that I am not yet to make an impact among the Viking. I need to improve my... Really? Okay, so I have to raise my standing with the Viking by 2, which means I have to go back to a space station. I think the only thing I'm actually happy about doing is that I don't have to hike all the way back. I can just call the Radiant Pillar here. Go to the space station. Do some missions. Jump through some hoops. I suppose by now I wasn't quote-unquote supposed to have done any missions yet. Now I did them for... guilds, but in that Viking's defense, I didn't do any for the Viking themselves. Well, actually, I think, yeah, they reward missions with increased standing. With increased graphics, too. I noticed that tractor beam. I wonder what the anomaly looks like right now. You saw how complicated it was last time. So did my CPU, but that's beside the point. Alright. There. Well, never mind, I'm just thinking about these stars that not getting any lag right now. While I'm here, I'm going to learn Viking the easy Brillet's way, word by word. This is what the Viking know of friendship. Ah, he likes my multi-tool. Ah, wait a minute. Okay, so I have a chance to offer a gift, which will increase my standing. I get the impression, though, that what it will not do is help on this mission, but I still need my standing raised by any means necessary. Oh, it did help. I could, in theory, increase my standing with the Korvax the same way, but more to the point, I could also, in theory, if I had another Viking effigy, hand it to another Viking and not even have to bother with missions. Oh, I already did this. Yeah. No thanks. Like I said earlier, practicing language skills is risky. I remember this guy. Yeah. Alright, I think I've exhausted all the possible alien life forms for this space station in terms of language. Okay, alright, I really hate having to do this. But I really don't have a choice right now. I'm going to do two things, actually. So, both of these are creature-killing missions. But the Viking one, the one that I actually have to do, has been killing 14 creatures. This other one has been killing only 11. Before I head out on these, though, I'm gonna see if there are any improvements available for my scanner. Out of fuel. Fortunately, you can't take fall damage in this place. Yes, I know I'm delaying things, but not unnecessarily. What's this here? Never mind, it's another rifle. I thought it was something different from those for a second. Okay, so, what do you got for me in terms of scanner upgrades? You have scanner upgrades. I see C-class. I see nothing else. Well, any port in the storm, I suppose. Where did I put this thing? Okay, installing. So now, when I scan flowers or plants, I get a nice hefty reward too, instead of this. I wonder what kind of a ship that is. It's an A-class, but it's a hauler. And haulers aren't exactly good in ship-to-ship combat. I'm going to see if there's somewhere where I haven't been yet. Ceramic Prime, I've been there. Oh. Okay, so Durat. Durat has an important characteristic, which I find necessary for these missions. It has oceans. I wonder... Yeah, I guess the needs of this mission outweigh any possible scanning. Besides, on Durat there were a lot of different creatures, and I don't think I got them all. But then again, I think I got a lot of the ones I could have gotten. Well, there's a reason why having water is important for these creature-killing missions. Or rather, why having oceans is important for these creature-killing missions. And I'm headed for land. I'm not ready to land yet. I gotta find water. Alright, now that I have aimed directly for an ocean that I can see from space, this place can't really not have an ocean. On the other side of that, though, it's possible to go for ages on one of these planets and not see any land. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is the sea. And over there, well, I believe as they used to say in the old sailing days of yore, land ho. So I'm going to land on a coast. And then I'm going to finally demonstrate why water is important to creature-killing missions. So we ever get to this coast. Wait. An island. That's even better. It's nothing but coast. I'm going to coast to the coast. touch down, and then fire my boltcaster and go fishing. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go fishing? What do you mean by going fishing? Alright. Press R to reload. And down. And as soon as we find some fish... There they are. Did I not refill my oxygen? There we go. Alright. Now, I don't know whether you noticed this, but when I scanned earlier, by hitting F, I didn't just see one single fish. They come in groups. That is why I prefer to go fishing rather than hunt land animals in these missions. Salty fish fingers. I mean, yeah, some land animals do hunt in herds. But with land animals, you shoot them, you watch them keel over dead one by one. I'm not the first person with this sentiment, you know. At least one other No Man's Sky player has been hideously apologetic about how he's got to do a kill creatures mission, he's got to mercilessly slaughter one creature after the next. And now he's oh so sorry. I don't blame the guy, but he could have avoided this. I'm trying to get to a school of fish. This is getting to be kind of a thing, and I'm not exactly a fan of it. I pick these schools up and then lose them. I pick these animals up to scan it and then lose them. I pick I pick pretty much anything up and track it and lose it and track it and lose it. And all the same, though, I guess that's an occupational hazard here. Over the next underwater hill. Reloading. Reoxygenating. How do I have low ammo again? I not hit those fish? There's more behind this big crystal structure. Oh, and there's an unidentified plant. I get to see how much more I make from plants now. Yeah, it's not a whole lot, but it's a pretty hefty chunk anyway. Speaking of hefty chunks, that's 11 I've offed now. But I'm not ready to return just yet. Ooh, and I'm going in the same direction as my ship. That's good. Alright. Finished at last. Now it's back to the surface. But there's one thing I'd like to do first. See this thing? It is a volcanic vent. Hang around this. Oh, whoa, 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 and whoa. There, look at that. Now, if I'd been hanging around that thing when it went off, I would have taken major heat damage. But now, I'm just taking the crystal sulfide around on the vent. And 3 crystals. I suppose I could spare the time for it. Okay, let's see. There's my ship. And now you know why landing by the ocean is so important for culling creatures. You don't have to hunt them down one by one. Alright. Vikings, mercenaries. I hope you're pleased with me, because I am not entirely pleased with myself. What am I at, man? I'm gonna refill my launch. This used to take 40 units of uranium. Now it only takes 32. Ooh, and they just caught me. And I could have slammed solidly into the side of that space station. Maybe the galactic cops could have picked me up. Wrote me a ticket for reckless driving. Maybe more than just a ticket, though, right? Oh, a Gek. Weird looking Gek too. I'm gonna learn some Gek. Actually, you know what? Strike that. Here, one Gek relic. It's been taking up unnecessary space in my inventory for way too long. Well, it wasn't that long, but it was long enough. And in these missions here, starting with this one, ending with this one, exosuit upgrade chart. I have never seen that before. As soon as I'm through with oh, these exosuit upgrade paid charts are drop pod coordinate data. I have a rather bold plan here. But said plan will have to wait until after I've talked to this one alien about Artemis's location. Finally. Alright, alien. And dude, where were you? And what was your name? I forget. I'm terrible with names. I'm going to turn that potential assistance into kinetic assistance. Turn my ship upside the right way up. You can come in at some pretty odd angles. At least he hasn't left yet. Alright, Ensign, how do you like me now? As I approach the life form, they spin in their own palm and bow to me. They only issue a single noise. Grrr. It is unclear if Artemis's translation is working. Huh. Well... I don't know, I could just ask for information. The life form's body begins to shake. That real teeth now bared to me. I spit and bow, emulating the life form's strange motion. As they scream, withdraw a dagger from a holster at their side, and slice open their own palm. They laugh at me, offering their dagger. Well, I guess telling a life form to calm down, especially now, is a bad idea. Because people don't like being told to calm down. At least I don't think they do. And considering I didn't do the last thing the Viking did when I was quote-unquote supposed to, I'm not going to risk ignoring him again. Grimacing, I run the dagger through my own palm, a little bullet emerging through my exosuit. The hole quickly seals itself. Thank goodness, it's a toxic atmosphere. The life form appears to find my behavior hilarious. Said life form is now officially a troll. Interloper actually did it. Thinks it is Viking. Thinks it is warrior. What do you want, pathetic interloper? Maybe you should stop calling me pathetic. I improved my standing. Isn't that what you wanted? Okay, here. Read that. Ask the life form to decode the star chart and provide a route to Artemis's location. What is this nonsense? This location does not exist, or the Viking would know. Well, at the risk of... You know what, you did laugh at me before, so I ask you if they could have made a mistake. The Viking does not respond well to the insinuation that they may have made a mistake in analyzing the star chart data, shouting, "Death, death." I apologize and leave. Okay, well, So apparently I led him on a snipe hunt, or rather Artemis did. But, in all honesty, negotiating with this guy, or talking to him, was so much of a crapshoot that I started to wonder if it actually mattered what what I actually did. Okay, there's no location I have to get to. I just have to blast off. So I'm going to head out into space. Oh, he's calling me. Artemis, that you? There you are. I found high ground, I think. When you arrive, I'll fire my multi-tool into the air to mark my location. Fascinating coincidence, he has a multi-tool. What's wrong? Why aren't you saying anything? Well, I'm going to tell Artemis what happened. I tell Artemis that the locals could not decipher their star chart. The alien even went so far as to claim those stars didn't exist. I even went so far as to ask whether or not he made a mistake. He did not like that. And that's putting it rather mildly. I have expected him to backhand me across the face. Okay, maybe I'm going too far. That's impossible. I can't have traveled that far from uncharted space. You found my ship. Well, I'm guessing that the locals aren't wrong. So I'm going to ask how he got there. As I speak, the line begins to crack with interference. Artemis looks up at the stars in panic. I'm hoping they're not going out like in that Doctor Who episode. The stars, they've altered since I made the chart. Blinked out in... Wait, they are? Oh boy. How is this possible? What's happening to me? I need to get out of here. I need to... It's quiet at first, but it is there. Unmistakable, growing steadily louder with each passing moment. A sound beneath their words. A sound as if glass could scream. I don't think he can actually say what happens. He doesn't know how. So I'm going to have to tell him to... I try to comfort Artemis, but my words feel strangely hollow. I can do nothing. I don't think I could have done anything of it. Never mind what I'd said. Artemis speaks to me again. I discovered the glyphs for a portal travel, a gateway between worlds. I thought it would lead me to another kind, but now I don't even know if the voice was real. The pathway collapsed while I was still inside. I found this place in the darkness. I thought perhaps it was a planet. I was so wrong. I can see their faces. There are seeds of glass within their... Well, I'm going to ask for the glyphs. They're gone. My data fragmented in the... I just wanted to discover worlds. I wanted to find other travelers. I didn't... 16. Warn your face. Please, not yet. I'm not... The signal cuts off. As it crackles into oblivion, I hear a name through the static. Apollo. The frequency for Apollo has been added to my hollow terminus contacts.